Hi everyone. So much of what is going on in the world right now is not making us happy. In fact, it's doing the opposite of that. It's really not a good time. So today I decided to sit down and make a list of some of the things that have been making me happy. We're talking about small things, but you know, even those small things can become really important. So from things that on the internet have made me laugh to bigger things that are still quite small things that I have implemented into my everyday life. And I thought that I would share them with you in the hope that some of these things make you smile as well. So we're talking about board games, we're talking about quizzes, we're talking about TV shows, but we're also talking about memes and videos online. This is just a lot of happy stuff I wanted to share with you, and I would love to know in the comments section what things have been making you happy recently too. Everything that I mentioned will be linked in the description box if you would like to go and check it out. So let's crack on with this list. Top of my list, quizzes. Is everybody doing quizzes now? I am not complaining about it. I'm not complaining about it. Two quizzes in particular that I wanted to mention. Anna over at A Case for Books did a Harry Potter quiz. And it was hard, and I was so glad that it was hard. I think I got something like 22 out of, I can't remember if it was out of 40 or 50. I think it might have been 50. And I consider myself quite a big Harry Potter fan. So if you really want to test your Potter knowledge, go over and take her quiz. It was live, but it's saved to her channel now. And Lauren over at Lauren the Books did a bookish quiz a few weeks ago as well, which I really enjoyed doing. I did much better on that one, felt quite proud of myself. It was a fun time. Again, I will link it down below. And as I'm filming this next Saturday, which is Saturday the 23rd of May at 6:30 p.m. BST, me, Lauren, other Lauren Wade, and Jean are going to be doing a bookish quiz over on Jean's YouTube channel. She set a video reminder for that, so I'll link that down below. If you can't join us live, it will be on her channel later. But if you would like to join us live for a bookish quiz, that will be fun. I think it's going to be quite silly, so come and join us in that silliness. You know that Mr. M and I love our board games, and we have been enjoying 3 board games recently, which are not, I think, board games that I have mentioned before. First one is Jaipur. This is a game set at a market where you have to collect different ingredients, and then you can exchange those for points. You have 5 cards in front of you, and you take it in turns to pick from those 5 cards, replenishing them from the deck and exchanging things for camels. It can get quite competitive, and something that we have been enjoying is, for extra incentive, putting sweets on the top scoring tier of each ingredient so that the person to get that also gets a sweet. Just makes things a little bit more fun. I think you've got to get inventive at the moment, right? Another game that we have been enjoying recently is Isle of Skye. This one reminds me a lot of Carcassonne. So if you enjoy Carcassonne, then you will like this. It is like Carcassonne extra. So for each game that you play of Isle of Skye, you pull out 4 random objectives that you get scored on each round. It means that every game that you play is different. You also get to bid on other people's pieces, which is something you don't get to do in Carcassonne. And for both of these games, I really recommend watching Rado. So he has a YouTube channel where he does playthroughs of games, and I much prefer watching someone play through a game in order to understand how to play it than sitting down and reading the instructions. I don't know about you, but it just makes more sense that way. And then another game that we've been enjoying, my goodness, this is so heavy. This is Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. It's not really like a board game, it's more like an escape room board game. In this, you are trying to help out Sherlock Holmes. I'm not sure he really needs your help, but you're trying to help him nonetheless. In this box, there are 11 cases for you to solve. Once you have solved each case, obviously you can't play it again, so you can pass it on to friends. We've done 1 so far, so that's how good it is that I'm already recommending it when we've only done 1. And for each case, you get to read a few paragraphs as if you were reading the beginning of a Sherlock Holmes book, and it gives you the name of the person who died, how they died, and then a couple of clues. In the box, there is a directory of London, there is a map of London, And for each case, there is a newspaper as well. And that newspaper has clues hidden inside it, maybe in some of the advertisements or in something that's been reported correctly or incorrectly. And you have to decide who you want to go and interview. So you use the directory to find the names of the people mentioned in the case file you were given at the beginning. And then you go to their address and you read the extract where they have been interviewed by the detective. It's a very, very clever game. Would very much recommend. Something else that has been bringing me joy is baking. You may have realized that because I have been baking in quite a few videos recently. I really enjoyed making focaccia and lemon meringue pie. I think those have been my highest achievements recently, but the thing that I've enjoyed the most has been making bookish biscuits, and I made a whole video on that. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it in the description box down below. Essentially, I made biscuits or cookies if you're in North America, shaped like books, and then I used icing to recreate book covers on those biscuits. And not only was it really fun to do that, but it has been so fun to see you guys doing it and sending me your pictures. So please keep doing that because it is bringing me joy. Oh, something I wanted to mention to link in with board games. If you are isolating by yourself or the person or people that you happen to be with don't want to play board games with you, which I think is rude, I wanted to recommend something called Tabletopia, which Mr. M has been using with one of his friends. It's basically a website where you can play board games online with somebody else. They have so many different board games that you can play, and they've laid it out so that it really feels like, as much as it can feel like through a screen, that you're lifting and moving pieces as if you are playing a board game. So that might be something to check out if that sounds up your street. Next on my list, just crossing things out as we go, is something that probably all of you have already watched, but just in case you haven't, Broadchurch. I am so late to this party, Olivia Colman and David Tennant solving crimes is it in Dorset? I think it's in Dorset. Yeah, it's in Dorset. And it was a delight. I mean, a harrowing delight. We watched all 3 seasons. Love it. The reason that we didn't watch it before is that we don't actually have a TV. So we were hoping to watch it on a streaming service. I think it must have been on ITV Player for a while, but we missed it. And then it hasn't been on anything else until Jean told me that you could get it on BritBox. So we signed up for a free trial of that. We may end up just saying signed up to it. I think it's $5.99 a month. And they have loads and loads of box sets from BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, just so much stuff. And they have all 3 seasons of Broadchurch on there. So if you, like me, are way behind on that kind of thing, you can catch up there and it is well worth your time. I'm gonna reach over for my cup of tea because I always make one before I start filming and then I don't touch it, and then by the time I've finished, the tea is cold. So let me treat myself by having a drink of tea. In a previous, I'm eating my hair now. This is not a good look. In a previous favourites video, I mentioned that Mr. M and I have been enjoying going for a walk at sunrise. It's the time when I feel safest to go as someone who's in a more vulnerable category, and at 5 o'clock we leave the flat, not every day, but most days, and we go to a small wood which is very close to where we live. And walking, as I'm sure for many of us, I'm not saying something really ridiculously inspiring that no one has thought of before. Walking used to be something that I did to get out of my own head, shove my earphones in, listen to an audiobook, go walking during the week on my own, and walk anywhere, everywhere, and just forget about things. Walking is obviously not like that at the moment because you're super aware of everything when you're outside of your flat. You're being very vigilant, and it can be quite stressful. So something that I have been using to trick myself kinda is to use that hyper awareness to look for things that aren't people. Obviously keep an eye out for people and all of that stuff too, but we've been going for a walk in the woods, and every day on Instagram I have been asking you guys to guess with me how many foxes and how many squirrels are we going to see today, and I love that so many of you join in with that game. So I count squirrels and foxes as I go, and that just means I'm so aware of everything that's around me, and it helps me forget that I'm being super aware for a reason, if that makes sense. Not everyone will be able to count squirrels and things like that, but you could count, I don't know, certain colours of cars, or you could count, I guess, how many rainbows people have in their windows. That's something that people have been doing. I really liked when people were putting Easter eggs in their window at Easter for people to count on their way past as well. So each day you could pick something different that you're going to try and count. Yes, so if you would like to follow me on my daily walks, I'll link my Instagram account in the description down below. And speaking of exercise, something that Mr. M and I have also been enjoying doing together, and it's been rather hilarious to be honest, is doing, I think it might be Mad Fit. I'll link it down below. That may not be what it's called. I think that's what it's called, but they do a series of short workouts. So we've been doing this 10-minute one every day. It is like cardio, no jumping workout, because we're not on the ground floor of a building and we do not want to disturb anyone or make our bookcases fall over with jumping around so much. We've been enjoying them, and I thought I would mention them in case you're looking for something like that too. We're on to things, I'm gonna put this tea down. We're on to things now that I have found on the internet that have brought me joy. Let me give you a quick rundown. The Dick King-Smith Twitter feed. I used to love Dick King-Smith books when I was younger, and every day they post the best animal content on Twitter, such as this video of an overexcited emu, which I enjoyed very much. There is a fabulous woman called Mary Neely who has been doing lip-syncing videos to songs in films and going the extra mile. I cannot get over how much effort she puts into these. They are amazing. My particular favourite of hers has been her doing the initial song, the first song from Beauty and the Beast, and her Gaston, chef kiss, absolutely amazing. Go and watch that. It's incredible. What have I written down? Oh, I thought this said Robin by the river, and I was like, a robin by the river? What river? We are not near a river. No, it says Rolling by the river, and this is this guy on TikTok. I don't actually have TikTok, so I only see it when people cross-post, who did this amazing video being Tina Turner and dancing down the street. Sarah Cooper is a person who does amazing lip-syncing videos to Trump speeches. I'm sorry to mention his name in this video. Michael Spicer is someone who has been making me giggle. He has been making a series of videos called, it's either The Man in the Other Room or The Man Next Door, for about 8 months now. So he will take a video, a speech by Boris Johnson or Theresa May, or there was a great one with Prince Andrew, some with Matt Hancock, and he will pretend to be the person who's speaking in their ear, so in their earpiece, and he will cut their speech with a video of him pretending to be the guy next door, telling them what to say, and they're hilarious. I'll link some of my favorites in the description box down below. And on Twitter yesterday, I saw an amazing Twitter thread with someone listing all of the Lord of the Rings male characters as bad ex-boyfriends and all of their particular traits. It was great. Something else online that made me smile this week was that Howard from Take That has been reading bedtime stories for kids on his Instagram and Facebook pages, and he's been reading his favourite children's book. And this week he read Franklin's Flying Bookshop, my book, Franklin's Flying Bookshop, Howard from Take That, which was very surreal and very cool. Again, I will link it down below. My final favourite, as something that's been making me happy, has been working on more online content for you and for me. It's been something that's been really helping me. Obviously, I make online content anyway, but I've been trying to put out more videos and also more Instagram lives and just think of more ways that we can all interact together. And it has been lovely to feel all that more connected. Not to sound schmushy and all of that, but is schmushy a word? Mushy. Not to sound mushy or anything like that, but it really has been really lovely. So as well as been making these videos, I've been doing daily readings on Instagram Live. Currently I'm reading Pride and Prejudice, and I've just been having to think about how I can change the work that I do. So a lot of my work is online, so that's fine. But then there are other elements that aren't. So I go into schools, universities, and also to book festivals and run events in bookshops. And obviously I can't do any of those things. So I've been running a lot more online writing workshops, which has been great. And the thing that really warmed my heart with that, and wanted to mention, because I just think it's nice to remember that there are lovely people in the world. When I announced the group workshops that I was doing this spring, summer, I think it was in the end, it was 10 people who messaged me independent of each other to say that they wanted to fund a space for someone who couldn't afford to take those workshops. Whenever I run group workshops myself, I always keep a space for someone who wouldn't be able to sign up otherwise. But then I had 10 more spaces because other people came forward and said they wanted to pay it forward. They wanted to support people who wanted to find an outlet and being creative. And I just thought that that was really lovely. And it reminded me of the lovely, warm community that we have built here. So yeah, I love you guys. So as well as doing more online workshops, which if you are interested in, they're all sold out at the moment, but I do workshops one-on-one via email as well as group workshops. I'll link that down below. As well as doing that, I've been doing more online content with people I work with elsewhere. So I run a book club for Toast, writing book reviews for them. But recently I've started doing live events with them as if we were in a bookshop. So far I've done 2, one with Evie Wilde, who is the author of The Batrock, and one with Maggie O'Farrell, who's the author of Hamnet. Both of which are books I have absolutely adored, and I know that so many of you have adored as well. So if you would like to come along as if you were going to a bookshop event, but you don't have to go anywhere because it's just online, I'll link those down below because they are over on Toast's IGTV. And the next one of those I'm doing is going to be probably later this month with Tracy Chevalier, which should also be a very fun time. So those are some of the things that have been filling me with warmth recently. I would love to know in a comment down below what has been making you smile, any things that you would like to recommend to me and to other people watching. I hope you're all having a good week. I will be back on Saturday with the next instalment of the omnibus of Pride and Prejudice, the audiobook that I'm making, and then I'll be back for another bookish video on Monday. Lots of love. Bye.